Welcome to the Wisdom Inspired Talk podcast. Thank you for joining me today. I am Yomi Akipelu, your wisdom coach, speaker, teacher, and author of Blow the Cap Off Your Capability and other books. In this podcast, we will learn from the wisdom of wise men and women from ancient and contemporary times. We will glean wisdom from books, biographies, teachings, quotes, and sayings of sages through the ages. So, let's dive right in. Today, we'll be speaking about integrity. First, a quote and a story. Integrity is the glue that holds our way of life together. We must constantly strive to keep our integrity intact. When wealth is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. When character is lost, all is lost, says Billy Graham. Now for the story. When the Titanic set sail in 1912, it was declared to be unsinkable because it was constructed using new technology. The ship's hull was divided into 16 watertight compartments. Up to 4 of these compartments could be damaged or even flooded, and still the ship would float. Tragically, the Titanic sank on the 15th of April 1912 at 2:20 a.m. 1,513 people lost their lives. At the time, it was thought that the 5 of its watertight compartments had been ruptured in a collision with an iceberg. However, on the 1st of September 1985, when the wreck of the Titanic was found lying upright on the ocean floor, there was no sign of the long gash previously thought to have been ripped in the ship's hull. What they discovered was that damage to one compartment affected all the rest. James Cameron, director of the movie Titanic, describes the Titanic as a metaphor of life. We are all living on the Titanic, he said. Many people make the Titanic mistake. They think they can divide their lives into different compartments and that what they do in one compartment will not affect the rest. However, as Rick Warren, author of Purpose Driven Life, explains, the Titanic was supposed to be unsinkable because it was the first ship to segment and compartmentalize the hull. Theoretically, if the boat took in water in a certain area, you could batten down the hatch and it wouldn't sink the whole ship. But folks, when it comes to your life, a hole in the boat is a hole in the boat, and eventually it's going to sink you. That little area you thought you had under control will eventually take you down. Rick Warren says, a life of integrity is one that is not divided into compartments. Zig Ziglar said, the most important persuasion tool you have in your entire arsenal is integrity. We must endeavor to have integrity in our speech, in our speaking. We must endeavor to speak ill of no man and speak all the good we know of everybody. Cultivate the habit of making understatements. Never exaggerate. Integrity does not mean being perfect. It means being honest, being real and being authentic. It is the opposite of hypocrisy. Truth becomes hard if it is not softened by love. Love becomes soft if it's not strengthened by truth. Lack of integrity has its own inherent, built-in consequences. Mark Twain once said, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. We must also endeavor to have integrity in our relationships. What a person does in his private life is a strong indication of what is going on in his life and in his heart. And what could be more private than the sexual relationship you have with your spouse? If a leader is unfaithful to his spouse, he is unfaithful to all who would follow him. This is so because the marriage relationship is the foundation for all other relationships we form in society, and it mirrors our character. Marriage is a promise that puts someone else's interest ahead of your own. Leadership, like marriage, is as much a responsibility as it is a privilege, and is based on trust earned over time through hard work. If a follower cannot trust you, will they follow you? Integrity starts at home. So learn to be a person of your word and stick with your commitments, even when you no longer feel like it. I was shocked when I read of a campaign by a Canada-based online dating agency offering a dating service for married men and women who wanted to have an affair. Outrageous, isn't it? Its slogan is, "Life is short, have an affair." Shocking. The agency is by no means alone in this market. Another agency executed an extensive advertising campaign specifically on massive billboards next to motorways with the slogan, "The grass is always greener." Can you believe that? A book recently published in the UK suggests that adultery may be good for the health of marriages. How outrageous! Nothing could be further from the truth. Intimate relationships require faithfulness and integrity. Essentially, agencies like those mentioned are making money feeding on people's weaknesses and helping them to be unfaithful. The reality is that it will ruin the lives of the individuals involved, as well as the lives of their partners, their families, and their children. Unfaithfulness and lack of integrity has the potential to destroy a marriage or a future marriage and to ruin lives. That is why, on a wedding day, a man and a woman promise to be faithful to each other as long as they shall live. As has often been said, the grass is not greener on the other side of the fence. It is only greener where it is watered and where it is tended carefully. If the grass looks greener, it's probably artificial, someone said. Confidence thrives on honesty, on honor, on the sacredness of obligations, on faithful protection, and on unselfish performance, says Franklin Roosevelt. And that is all for today. Until next time, keep on growing in wisdom and maturity. Blow the cap off your capability. Be unstoppable. Be awesome. I'm cheering you on.